Hey everyone, the Dark Knight is here. Wednesday Addams punishes the boys in the school who bullies her brother, Pugsley Addams. As a consequence, she is expelled. The concerned parents admit her to the Nevermore Academy, a school for monstrous outcasts, where they studied but were accused of a crime scene. Incidentally, that event recirculates with Wednesday's admission when a creature begins to take lives and she uses her psychic instincts to solve the crime mystery. What are the origins of the Addams family? The Addams Family was neither a novel nor did it start as an animated show, but the gag cartoons that were published in the New Yorker from 1938 until the 1950s. All the characters were unnamed until the 1964 television show, The Addams Family. Wednesday hampers a toolbox that was decorated for Tim Burton so that he can utilize when his turn comes to work on the project, because the Addams family and Tim Burton crossed the paths but never joined hands, which was a sad chapter. Just like Leo Messi was not lifting the World Cup before that finally happened. Picture this. 1991. Tim Burton was focused on directing Batman Returns. He already had directed Batman. He was offered The Addams Family. He passed on due to scheduling conflicts. And The Addams Family and its sequel were produced, establishing cult status with the audience. 20 years later, Tim Burton was planning to write and direct the Addams Family film, but got cancelled due to creative differences with the producers. Then Miles Miller and Alfred Gough acquired the rights, wrote the pilot, and forwarded it to Tim Burton. He became interested and joined. 30 years. It took 30 years to Tim Burton to work and complete a project that looks to me to be the most fitting project he ever happened to work on before. It's like it was a love story that was waiting for its romantic moment to bring the two together. When the strings are pulled rightly, there is every chance of playing the right notes. Producers Miles Miller and Alfred Gough are well known for creating Smallville. Tim Burton has a reputation for many excellent gothic fantasies. And then his decades-old collaboration with the musician Danny Elfman, the musical notes that ideally fit in Tim Burton films. With Tim Burton on the director chair, I would have loved to see Morticia and Gomez Addams played by Helena Bonham Carter and Johnny Depp. Catherine Zeta-Jones as Morticia and particularly Luis Guzman as Gomez were quite interesting choices. I felt that that spark was missing. That was quite a thing between Raul Julia and Angelica Houston in those two films. But here, Catherine Zeta-Jones and Luis Guzman looked pretty odd together. Fred Armisen as Uncle Fester was an imposing choice. Christopher Lloyd's Uncle Fester was character-driven and someone on whom the story was centered around. This time, in a quite different setting, this Uncle Fester was more jolly and exciting. I want to see more appearances of this Uncle Fester in the coming seasons. It was a pleasure to watch Christina Ricci in the show. She was Wednesday Addams in both the films back in the 1990s. Two Wednesday Addams in the same TV show. My kudos to whoever decided to give this titular role to Jenna Ortega. This has to be the best ever casting of Wednesday Addams to date. Let me tell you how I think that Jenna Ortega did the role of Wednesday Addams better than Christina Ricci. Christina Ricci's Wednesday lacked the body language of a melancholic personality that defines Wednesday Addams. Plus, the writing of her character in the film didn't guarantee any growth. On the other hand, Wednesday being the center stage of the plot and a TV show of 8 episodes at stretch, Jenna had enough time to grow as Wednesday Addams and answer all our questions that were related to her character that was visibly missing in the films. Why Wednesday? Why not the Addams family? The films heavily focused on Morticia and Gomez Addams, as well as Uncle Fester, but not the children. When my generation watched these films back in the 1990s, we had this feeling about this little girl that her side of the story was not developed and didn't make rounds. That had a lot of potential to grow due to her sadistic personality. I felt the writers of the films missed the chance. But this chance was smartly grabbed by Miller and Gough, with the cream of the plot centralizing the hows and whys of Wednesday's character. And this is exactly why her parents were almost out of the frame. The makers installed the character of Enid Sinclair, who struggles to befriend Wednesday Adam, and there develops a strange bond between a cheerful roommate and a morosely black soul. The screenwriting of the show also restricted the fan favorite character of Uncle Fester to a very brief appearance. Convincing the audience to stick with Wednesday Addams without Uncle Fester is a win. Of course, I have to mention that iconic dance in my assessment. A dance that was actually shot with Goo Goo Muck by the gothic rock legends the Cramps played in the background. But the TikTokers perfectly remixed the dance video with Lady Gaga's Bloody Mary and is now called a TikTok remix of Wednesday Dance. Jenna Ortega choreographed the dance herself. And the most astonishing fact about the dance is that the dance steps pulled the right strings of Wednesday Addams' cold-blooded personality. The dance visibly reflected her oddness. In one of her tweets, Jenna Ortega confirmed that gothic rock legends like Susie Sue and Lean Lovitch, first Wednesday Addams actress Lisa Loring, actor Dennis Lavant, and memorable dance number from Shirley Temple's Sweet Charity, Rich Man's Frug by Bob Fosse, were the inspirations behind this dance. I felt that the finale lost control of the pace and hurriedly strove to a conclusion. In any case, a lot of things have to happen in the future seasons. I really want to watch Grandmama and Cousin Eat. I have read that Wednesday and Enid may develop a romance in the next season. This is totally out of a syllabus stunt. A girl like Wednesday Addams, who lacks emotions and has zero match with the completely opposite Enid, goes 360 and become lovers? That is not so Wednesday Addams we know of. Whatever happened to something called friendship? Why cannot the writers try to bring both of them in a bond where they can find common grounds to somehow live through? Friendship has been, befriending has been a struggle so far. So why not focus on friendship? Wednesday is highly recommended to the fans of goth culture and the Addams Family. The films and the TV show cannot be compared at all. They have different vibes and different aesthetics on which different stories were presented to us. I hope to see a Stranger Things kind of excellent follow-up of the show. Wednesday has a lot of adventures or misadventures to excite us. I'm Knaik.